All right, folks, welcome back inside the Janitor's Closet. Bryce Hunt, joined by Josh Frey-Sam. And Josh, your birthday Sunday, back in the green here, plus 1.38 units for week two. Had to fight for it, but sure enough, that primetime game Monday, we were able to clear firmly into the green. We would have been in the green either way, but just barely. So good to get that full unit over in the green before we head into week three here. Week two was a big week for the underdogs. Tough week for a lot of
Yeah.
handicappers, just anyone making a bet. It was a tough slate to navigate. Happy to be heading out of that one in the green and moving on to week three here, Josh, where the board's starting to open up a little bit for us here. It looks like.
Definitely, man. Like this is the first I was telling you, like week one and two, obviously we came up with plays that we liked enough to add to the best bet show, but this week for sure was the best the board, the best the slate has kind of looked to us. Kind of was feeling a little bit more like how we felt last year, where the board felt like it was speaking a little bit easier to us. So hopefully looking forward to hopefully putting up some better numbers this week. We need a big bounce back week. Of course, your birthday's up next. So we need to bring home a bounce back week for you this weekend.
Yeah, still got the mojo going for the birthday boys in late September here, folks. If you've been tailing the boys this season, if you're appreciating the picks, keep it locked on YouTube here. You can also follow us on X or on Twitter at TJC Bets over there. A couple more plays. Josh said he's still mulling over, so keep it
Yeah.
locked there. We might be adding some plays to this slate. But right here on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below. It helps us out a great bit, and we appreciate your support. Now, Josh, we have 10 units total, including our TJC Anytime Touchdown Parlay, 9 units on the board in best bets. Let's get right into those, starting in Minnesota here with the Houston Texans paying a visit.
Let's do this one. This is our biggest bet of the week here. We like Houston -2 on the road. We're taking the road chalk this week, folks. And listen, there's a lot of people that love Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if I'm ready to, although they're at home this week, Bryce, I don't know if I'm ready to fully buy into these Minnesota Vikings against the Houston Texans, who for my money is they're making their case as one of the better teams in the AFC. And I don't even think that the Houston Texans, I don't think we've seen them play even anywhere close to their best football yet. Nico Collins is looking like an absolute freak. If you have him in fantasy, you are absolutely thriving right now in life. And CJ Stroud is going to only continue to get better along with the rest of those offensive weapons. Of course, Joe Mixon is going to be worth monitoring as we continue to progress through this week. But I'm confident that even if he does not play, we're still going to get some good solid play in the name of Cam Akers. People remember that name with his from his days in the Los Angeles Rams. On the flip side, this defense on the Houston Texans is playing absolutely insane. They made life a living just a nightmare for Caleb Williams. We'll put it that way. In prime time last week, and now they go and face Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings here again. On the road here, Sam Darnold is playing probably some of the best football that we have seen him play. The Minnesota Vikings here, what's going to be interesting, I guess, dynamic or the interesting matchup in this one for me is the Minnesota offense against the Houston Texans defense. I think Houston's offense is going to find some success on offense, so I'm not really too worried about that. But on the flip side of things, Houston's defense has done a great job at getting after the pass rusher. I can't even remember. I should have wrote it down. How many times they pressured Caleb Williams in prime time last week was absolutely ridiculous. Caleb was running for his life, it felt like, on any given play. I think that there's going to be a little bit more of that this week. Minnesota has a little bit of injuries. Brian O'Neill, their offensive tackle, we'll see how he shakes out the rest of the week. The injury report shakes out, but he's not trending in the right direction. On the flip side, they also have Dallas Turner on there, who has logged back-to-back DNPs in practice this week. So Minnesota's offense, I think, is going to take a half step back this week, and I think that's going to against this Houston Texans defense, and that's going to be enough for the Houston Texans offense to kind of pull away and grind out a victory in this one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination, but the road chalk here is speaking to me. I like Houston, get their W, and move on against a team that, for my money, has kind of overperformed through the first 2 weeks of the season.
Okay, so we're on the board with Houston now. Let's head out to the Sin City, Josh. Raiders are going to be hosting the Carolina Panthers, who made a little bit of a quarterback change this week. They've been in the news. They're going to be taking a visit to the Raiders.
Yeah, no doubt. And this was a let's put for the record. I know we're a betting show, Bryce, but for the record, I love the move by the Carolina Panthers. I think this was the right move to bring the Carolina Panthers back into some sort of relevancy potentially this year. You and I have been, well, myself anyways, have been on record talking about Deontay Johnson and how high I am on him this season. Has not got a chance to see that yet this season. I got this guy finishing top 10 in wide receiver fantasy points this year. This guy's had absolutely no chance this season. But with Andy Dalton, the red rifle, back at the helm, I think Deontay Johnson, his best days are ahead of him. Let's get into the play here. And the play for this game is going to be Brock Bowers. It's a prop, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Bowers over 45.5 receiving yards for 2 units. This is the Raiders rookie tight end. The Raiders are making their home debut, home opener. This is the home opener for the Las Vegas Raiders in this matchup. Could not come against a better defense as far as you want to talk about a team that they can absolutely light up. Let me put this out there for you, Bryce. The Las Vegas Raiders right now are passing at the highest rate in the NFL right now. They're passing over 67% of their plays. They are ranking dead last in running, in rush EPA, all that stuff, all those advanced statistics as far as running the ball goes. But they are at least making a little bit of noise and surviving as far as the passing game goes. And at the top of that is obviously Davante Adams, but it's Brock Bowers. Now, Davante Adams, the reason for this play and why it makes sense, Brock Bowers has smashed this 45.5 receiving yards number in his first 2 career games. He's getting a ton of looks from Gardner Minshew, which is awesome. And he is an absolute smash start in any kind of fantasy format that you have. But also Davante Adams, if there is, I think, going to be a player that's going to command the attention, the double team to slow down this Raiders passing attack, it's going to be on the outside to Davante Adams. They're going to not want him to hurt him, not want him to hurt them, pardon me, which should leave Brock Bowers with absolutely ample opportunity. There's no doubt in my mind he hits this number. He's done it in the first 2 weeks, and I think it's coming up against a weak defense that is ravaged by injuries already, and he's playing in a pass-happy offense. This is literally, and in the home opener, this is a match. This is like all the stars are aligning, it feels like, for this play. Brock Bowers, over 45.5 receiving yards for 2 units.
Okay, our next play is going to focus on 2 pretty young and exciting quarterbacks here. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears are paying a trip to Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts, Josh.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, there's been only one quarterback in the NFL that's been worse than Caleb Williams this year, Bryce, by the numbers. That is Bryce Young, who is benched right now. So, when you see the play that we're making here today, Bryce, over 43.5 for 2 units, you might be scratching your head going, well, what sense does that make? I mean, why are you backing a crappy quarterback? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is Caleb Williams' coming out party here this week. I think that's what it is. I really do. On the road, nonetheless, his coming out party. Listen, the Indianapolis Colts, if you have watched them this season, wow, is that a bad defense. Like, they are ravaged by injuries, and it's bad. They were bad to begin with. DeForest Buckner, their best defensive player, is on the IR. That means that DeAndre Swift, Roschon Johnson, whoever else, shoot, maybe even they'll throw in Travis Homer here and get the third running back some looks in this game. They are going to have a day over there in Chicago. Juju Brents, their top cover corner, has been out already. Indianapolis is a tough defense, man. They are just, wow. And not for the good reason, not the good kind of tough either, okay? This is a tough defense to watch. The over 43.5 here, not only do I believe that the Chicago Bears offense is going to be able to take advantage of the Indianapolis Colts defense, I think it's going to come playing the type of style that they have kind of envisioned, that Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator, has kind of envisioned here. They're going to be able to run the ball with ease, in my opinion, work the play action off of that, get Caleb Williams outside of the pocket, and let him do his damage from where he is most comfortable, which is on the run, making plays happen, Patrick Mahomes-esque, right? That's where we have seen him at his best in the college ranks. On the flip side, Indianapolis Colts, the Chicago Bears defense has shown in certain cases that they are absolutely legit in other ways, especially running the football, which it hasn't been, but what absolutely I expect the Indianapolis Colts. They just can't keep bashing their head against the same wall here. They need to run the football, man. They absolutely have to. Jonathan Taylor's their best offensive player, and they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. The Chicago Bears are susceptible in the run game. Run the dang football and set up your quarterback, Anthony Richardson, in good positions here. The Indianapolis Colts offense, this is a really interesting matchup, man. I could talk about this one for hours, but the Indianapolis Colts offense is so boom or bust, and I think that they have an opportunity to be boom here. One of the other reasons why I like this a lot, Josh Downs, an underrated injury for the Indianapolis Colts early in the season. Josh Downs, second year receiver, is coming back this week. He's making a season debut this week. This is the receiver, believe it or not, it's not Michael Pittman. It's not Alec Pierce. It wasn't even Jelani Woods, the tight end, before he got hurt. Josh Downs is the receiver that Anthony Richardson has had the most rapport with, has had the best rapport with. He is a downfield threat. He stretches the defense and opens up opportunities for the other guys around him. And this is the guy who Anthony Richardson is going to be able to take his dagger shots to in this game. Again, could talk about this one forever, but I love the matchups for both offenses in this game. So with that being said, we're taking over 43.5 for 2 units in this game. I also have been dabbling with another play in this game, but we'll see how the injury report shakes out. But love the over as it stands right now.
Okay, let's do another fun one here. Detroit Lions are heading to Arizona for a day with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals here.
Yeah, okay. This one will be a little bit short. We're taking the over 51.5 here for 1 unit, folks. And this one is, I mean, if I got to tell you anything about the Arizona Cardinals defense, and then I got to tell you anything about the Arizona Cardinals offense, this is a dead over team all year long, okay? This is a team that is going to put up 25 plus points all year long, and this is a team that might give up 30 plus points all year long, okay? Detroit Lions offense needs to still get going here. They are on the road in this one, which is understandable. Okay, so for some people that might be weary. However, they are also in a dome where Jared Goff is going to be most comfortable. Amon-Ra St. Brown is on track to play. They're going to have all their weapons at their disposal. Jamison Williams is flying around. The Detroit Lions are going to have absolutely no issue moving the ball on this porous Arizona Cardinals defense. And on the flip side, Kyler Murray's been absolutely dynamite, man. We saw with Marv last week too, man. That has been a ton of fun to watch. But the Arizona Cardinals are going to be forced to throw a lot in this game, put up some more points, push us over the over total. We got over 51.5 for 1 unit.
Okay, and we're going to finish off our best bets here. Miami Dolphins heading to a team we've been taking a pretty good look at already in the first 2 weeks, in the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, we have been, and this was a team that we talked about in the preseason. I wasn't even for a long time overly high on the Seattle Seahawks entering this season. Tell you what, man, Geno Smith has been doing wonders for our future bet through 3 weeks, man. Through 2 weeks, we have the over on his passing yards for the season. He's been absolutely cranking it out, especially Kenneth Walker is going to be missing this week once again. So you might scratch your head again at this one. Seattle team total over 23.5 for 1 unit here. Well, Kenneth Walker was in week 1, Bryce, and the Seattle Seahawks absolutely ran Kenneth Walker. They just ran him. That's what they did. They got him involved in any way, shape, or form. He was absolutely dynamite for fantasy-wise. Zach Charbonnet comes in. You know what the Seattle Seahawks do and Ryan Grubb do? Oh, they say, Geno, this is your ball, man. Sling the rock for us and go put up some points. And that's exactly what Geno did against a tough New England Patriots defense. He's going to get a little bit of a break here at home against the Miami Dolphins defense that is right now, I don't know how morale is over there in Miami. You know what I mean? They lose Tua and I just don't know. You got Skylar Thompson making the start here for Miami, going into one of the hardest places to play. He's making, I think, his 9th career start in this game, going into one of the hardest places to play in the National Football League, making what is the longest trip, fun fact, longest trip in the NFL, Miami to Seattle. So there's a lot working against Miami here in this one. I also like Seattle's defense. I actually liked the over as in this game as a whole, but there's a piece of me that almost doesn't want to fully trust Skylar Thompson and that Miami Dolphins offense. I think as a result, we're going to see Seattle have more opportunity. on the offense side of the ball. I don't see them having too much issue moving the football. I think DK Metcalf is going to be occupied by Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be an absolute dogfight over there all day. That's going to open up Jackson Smith and Jigba. Maybe Noah Fant. I think he's back. Tyler Lockett. Zach Charbonnet can do his thing as well, etc., etc., etc. Seattle team total over 23.5 for 1 unit.
All right, so those are the best bets for the week. Now we're going to get into the TJC anytime touchdown parlay.
Here we go.
Potentially, Amon-Ra dealing with those cramps. Last week we were close. We were close. We're going to try it again this week.
Dude, okay, man. Let we had Amon-Ra. That was my pick. That's on me. Okay, we had Amon-Ra, the anytime touchdown. This dude had 19 targets on the game. If you had told me before the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have 19 targets in this game, I would have said, how many touchdowns did he score? Like, I would have said, like 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get a touchdown. I don't know what to tell you, folks. That one's on me. I'm soaking it. Hand up accountability. We ride. Sorry, Bryce. Keep going. I just had to get that off my chest.
You're all good. So Amon-Ra last week lets you down. Where are you going this week for your guy to score a touchdown?
We're going to another guy who has been off to a slow start this season, but we think that he's going to get back. I think he's going to get back on track. This is a smash matchup here, man. Monday Night Football. It hit for you on Monday Night Football last week. We're going back to Monday Night Football with my play. Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown here. It's actually paying very well, too, because he's off to such a slow start. This Bengals offense is off to such a slow start. Right now, it's paying more than double your money. Joe Burrow's a smash start in this, okay? They're playing the... and Jamar Chase, as a result, is a smash start, regardless of whether or not T. Higgins plays. It doesn't really matter. The Washington Commanders defense is bottom tier here. Like, it doesn't get any better. I talked about Brock Bowers going up against the Carolina Panthers defense. This is next level. There's New York Giants defense, and then there's Washington's defense. Okay, this is a bad defense. That's about all I need to say. Jamar Chase, and also, sorry, Jamar Chase has been obviously in the media a lot past couple of weeks for obvious reasons, talking about his contract, and then obviously just his slow start. This is a guy who last season he was the squeaky wheel. He kept talking about, he had that that infamous interview where he says, "I'm always effing open." Right? I'm open. I'm always effing open. He went off for like 10 grabs and 192 yards and like a touchdown or 2 touchdowns the next week. Okay. This is going to be a very similar case, I think, of this. Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown.
Okay, so you're staying in the air, and I'm going to stay on the ground here. I'm going Jordan Mason, Josh.
Nice.
In the fill for Christian McCaffrey, he's had a touchdown in both games. He's rushed for over 100 yards both games. I think you or I, probably more so you than I, could probably get 100 yards on the ground behind that offensive line the way that they're playing right now.
Yeah.
So San Francisco probably without Debo again this week. We saw George Kittle. He didn't practice today, or he was limited.
Yeah.
So we're assuming he's going to play, but he might not. Either way, they've been really feeding Jordan Mason the ball. The Rams have given up the third most rushing yards per game so far. They have a bottom 10 red zone defense, allowing their opponents to score 62% of the time.
Nice.
This is going to be Jordan Mason for me, keeping that train rolling in San Francisco. Jamar Chase and Jordan Mason would turn 1 unit into 3.8 here, Josh. What's the number? You want to stick with 1 unit, or how you feeling about this week?
No, let's stick with 1 unit. I think these are both going to smash. Don't get me wrong, but let's stick with 1 unit. Let's get the mojo up, and then we can start going from there.
Okay, so boots wet on the
Yes.
anytime touchdown parlay to start the year. 9 units in the best bets, folks. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you for week 4. Happy gambling. Bet responsibly. Josh, what you got for us? Anything? You good to go?
That's it, man. I'm ready to sign off.
Roll. All right, folks. We'll see you in week 4. Take it easy and let's have a day.